Scoutflies, a mechanic introduced in Monster Hunter World. You could say it was revolutionary, because it successfully simplified the monster tracking process in this game without stripping away the core essence of hunting itself. In fact, it only strengthens it. I'd go as far as to say that the tracking system using Scoutflies was already perfect. You still had to put in some effort to get monster location info, but it wasn't ridiculous like in the older games where you had to blindly run around the map. You would need to slap on the psychic vision skill or bring a psycho serum to reveal monster location. The point is, the Scoutfly tracking system just fits so well with the game's settings, which heavily revolved around its ecosystem. Now in Monster Hunter Wilds, Scoutflies are back, but they've been tweaked. Well, the tracking system overall got reworked, or more accurately, it got removed. And to be honest, it kinda sucks. It feels more like a downgrade to me. But the worst part is, it didn't even have to be this way. Imagine if the Sacred can actually learn, like a real hunting companion. I mean, the Pelican surely can, so why can't the Sacred do more of the same? Like, it can start off clueless, but with every track we find, it sharpens its ability to track the monster down. Just like how Scoutflies used to level up in World. Hell, maybe they both can just have a symbiotic connection. They would have kept the immersion and made sense too on top of that. Sadly, we got none of that. You no longer have to search for monster tracks to figure out where they are. Same with items. You don't have to explore the map to unlock item locations anymore. From the start, every item is visible and trackable on the map. So now, Scoutflies are only there to point you toward your destination. The collect monster track to level up your research level is no more. This kinda ruins part of the experience for me. It feels like the exploration element got sidelined. I still remember when I first played World and had to track Radoban by finding its weird-ass footprints. I was like, what the hell kind of tracks are these? There was a genuine sense of curiosity. But now, before you even start, the game just hands you the monster's location. To be fair, there is a reason behind the change in the tracking system, and it is tied to the new mount in Monster Hunter Wilds. Sacred. Apparently, Sacred has a super sharp sense of smell, which is why it can immediately detect the locations of monsters and items on the map. Okay, sure, but it doesn't change the fact that this new system waters down the exploration experience. Seriously though, why did they have to remove the tracking system? That was the part that really made it feel like you were actually hunting something. Imagine this, you're out hunting a wild boar or a deer or something. You wouldn't just magically know where it is. You'd have to look for signs like footprints, maybe the trails of its dung, broken branches, or just whatever sign that the animal left behind. Then, based on that, you'd figure out its location, not just somehow locate its position out of nowhere. Okay, I get it, Sacred is supposed to be like a hunting dog, but even then, real-life hunting dogs don't just instantly sniff out a deer from miles away. They follow scent trails left behind by the animal. They help the hunter find the next clue. And if you're lucky, then maybe, just maybe, you'll find the animal right away. Even if that were possible, those dogs would still need years of training and experience. But Sacred? This bird-ass raptor never even seen most of the monsters before, hasn't sniffed a damn thing. Yet somehow it can instantly find the monster's location. Just, I don't know, does not make any sense to me. Once again, maybe this is one of the dev team's way to quote-unquote accommodate newer players to make things easier for them. But in my opinion, by removing the tracking system entirely, They actually missed an opportunity to introduce new players to the deeper mechanics of the game. Monster Hunter is known for being immersive with a living, breathing ecosystem. Every element in the environment serves a purpose. Monsters have their own behavior patterns, their own ecology, when you're not beating the shit out of them. World did a good job of showing that to the players, especially with its Scoutfly tracking system. But now they've removed that. I mean, come on. I'm not saying that Sacred is a bad addition to the game. I totally get that the maps in Monster Hunter Wilds are much bigger, and Sacred is there to help with faster travel. That's fine, but you didn't have to completely remove the old tracking system too. They could have done something like what World had, letting us gather monster tracks to level up our research of those said monsters and eventually making the Scoutflies able to track the monster down immediately. And this can be perfectly implemented to the Sacred as well. Let it progressively learn how to track down all of the monsters. Or maybe, like I said earlier, make them have a symbiotic connection with the Scoutflies. The point is, the more we investigate the monster tracks, the better the Sacred's tracking gets. Eventually, when our research level is high enough, then it can immediately find the monster. That could have worked wonders. I mean, you've done that before in World, so why not bring it back in Wilds? For me, the tracking system added so much more immersion to the game, and that's something I really value. It's a shame they didn't bring it back, considering how well it worked. But in Rise you could see monster locations right away too. Yeah, okay, in Rise you could see monsters right from the start, thanks to your owl. Or the Kahoot, I should say. Even though I can never really understand how the hell that owl's supposed to tell you exactly where the monsters are. But logically speaking, the owl can fly, and it obviously has a bird's eye view, making it makes sense that it can see where the monsters are. I can tolerate that. Sacred, on the other hand, does not fly. At best, it just glides. And its main selling point is its strong sense of smell. So it just doesn't sit right with me that it can magically know where everything is. Plus, Rise didn't even have Scoutflies. Meanwhile, Wilds has Scoutfly, which unfortunately only functions for giving directions. Kinda redundant that way, because the Sacred can already autopilot you to your desired location. That's why I'm questioning the whole thing. Honestly, I'm just disappointed they completely scrapped the old tracking system. Like I said earlier, the exploration element just doesn't hit the same anymore, especially in the early to mid-game, where it matters the most. Those early sections are where your sense of wonder is at its peak. You're still new to the game, the environment, new to the monsters, new to everything. That's the moment where discovery hits the hardest. That's when the game should be blowing your mind. And it stings more because the Forbidden Lands, where Monster Hunter Wilds takes place, is supposed to be this untouched region, unexplored for over 1,000 years. But here we are, with Scoutflies and Sacred basically acting like GPS units, feeding us all the info from the get-go. Yeah, sure, by endgame Monster Hunter always turns into Extinction Simulator, but that's exactly why the early to mid-game matters so much. That's the part that leaves the deepest impressions on players. And to be frank, Wilds didn't really give me that. I think the dev team really missed an opportunity here. I don't think they'll make any major changes to this system, but hey, a guy can only hope. Maybe we'll get some adjustment in the expansion DLC, or maybe in the next game, who knows. What about you guys? Do you think this was the right call by the Monster Hunter team, or are you also mourning the loss of the old tracking system like I am? Drop a comment and share your thoughts. If you want to see more from me, subscribe to give your support to this channel. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember to stay away from poaching and hunt within regulations. Peace.